everyone, it's Libby from Maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, that's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides and the universal energies. Let me just scoot over this way and get out this deck that I had meant to use, but I had forgotten to get out. My Gilded Tarot Royale. What I want to have a look at in this particular reading is two factors. So Katie Phang, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, Phang, I do apologise, has filed, and please don't correct me. Also on that note, just have a glance at the comments before you make a comment, because you'll see that the original reporting of what happened on the Saturday night was that the guy was unalived. When reporting came out that he'd been arrested, I put a pinned comment. And yet the amount of people that came on and went, he's still alive. It's like, yes, I know, as per my pinned comment. So please just check, because when information changes, rather than editing the original post, which was factual at the time, I will do a pinned comment. But it also, please don't correct me if I pronounce something wrong. It's a little bugbear of mine. So Katie has filed a lawsuit against the DOJ, ergo Todd Blanche. As I'm shuffling and split the deck, demanding the release of the Epps files, because the release of the Epps files was a court order by the Supreme Court. And we've got the Tower card. So does this mean that the court order's going to collapse, or does this mean something to do with Blanche or the files? Now, Blanche came out when he took over from Blondie to pretty much just say, well, we're not going to release anymore. Well, that's violating the court order. So let's have a look. Katie, this lawsuit against Todd Blanche and the DOJ regarding the Epps files release. What I'm also going to have a look at is there has been a lawsuit filed to debar Justice Roberts for violating certain elements. But let's have a look first. This lawsuit against the DOJ and Blanche, read the Epps files. Release the files. Nobody is not talking about it, despite the distractions that they are attempting. So how's this lawsuit going to go? Actually, I'll keep shuffling because I was a bit, how's the lawsuit? Oh, I think they're going to have to surrender them. I think they're going to offer up, but it's not going to be all of them. I think they're going to offer up some. We've got the higher authorities. This could be the Supreme Court order, and then we've got the Nine of Wands. Offering up some of them to try and placate. But you've got here karma coming and biting them on the backside with the Wheel of Fortune. It is time to stop prefabricating. Is that a word? I'll have to look it up. As in dithering around, as in making up false excuses, as in deflecting. Tell me about this lawsuit. How's it going to go? Okay, how's it going to go for the DOJ Blanche? Let me ask, because I have to ask from a specific point of view to get the proper answer. How's it going to go? Right, the Two of Pentacles. On shaky ground, trying to juggle this release, trying to avoid this release because they know it'll put the ship on the rocks. So juggling back and forth, trying to delay, but he's on shaky grounds there. The World card, end of an era. He might find himself out. The challenge is an end. The World card. The whole world is watching. The whole world is watching and going, really? Like this thing on Saturday night, the whole world's watching and going, really? Like, no. The whole world is watching. Could be information come from elsewhere in the world, or it could simply be it's an end of the star. Let's see where it goes. Trying to keep things isolated, being the snake in the path to try and prevent it from moving forward, because I'm asking about from the DOJ and Blanche's point of view, trying to keep it in the shadows, trying to stop it from moving forward, stop it reaching the light. In the past, you've got the Temperance card being in the past, the spin story. You've got water and fire, or could even be, don't mix. Trying to, juggling back and forth, trying to spin the story and create something new out of it. 1, 2, 3 majors already. And on the back foot, defensive, absolutely. Blanche trying to defend his position. The 8 of Wands, something moving forward really quickly about this information. You've got the jigsaw puzzles of the documents here. The 8 of Pentacles working behind the scenes, putting the pieces together. I think this is working behind. I think this events are catching up to Blanche. He can't defend 7 of Wands, 8 of Wands. I think they're having a good look at what they think they can get away with releasing. Now, I'm just going to say that 60 Minutes interview, despite the orange idiot going, "Oh, you're horrible, I knew you'd ask that awful question, blah, blah, blah," it was a pre-arranged question. So he, on public television, could deny that he was a grapist and a PDFer. Yeah, that's all that question was. That was it was a softball. And he knew that it was coming, and they had already prearranged the answer. And you also notice, like 30 minutes after supposedly the Pew Pew event on Saturday, he was giving this big long speech. It was pre-prepared, I'm just going to say. And then you had the whole cabinet standing there grinning and giggling and carrying on as if to say, "I can't believe we got away with it." It was just the biggest bullshittery that I have seen in a long time, and the fact that the media reports it as if it's real just drives me nuts. 10 of Swords, because they know they're trying to keep it under wraps, because they know if they put it out there, it's the end. The swords are poised. It's done. Stick a fork in it. 10 of Cups, and I do apologise if I just sound really annoyed, because I am really annoyed. 10 of Cups, the fear, the voter. What have we got here? The Queen of Wands, the 5 of Cups, the regret. This could be the survivors coming forward with their information. 5 of Cups, the regret. The 2 of Cups, the regret at this arrangement. Who's this Queen of Wands? Bringing forward information, but behind the scenes information, because I'm asking about Blanche and the DOJ. Regret about the agreement. Karma coming and biting him on the bum. Page of Wands, information being brought forward. High Priestess, hidden agendas. This is my Epps Files card. Epps, the Emperor. And the Page of Pentacles. Blanche is really struggling with this, because he knows that he's doing the wrong thing. He's trying to appease the Emperor, who's in the Epps files, to keep them hidden. And you've got the pages here looking at what he can put out, with this 8 of Pentacles. The 2 of Pentacles juggling to try and decide what would appease. Nightmare situation. So he's only going to put out perhaps a very small amount. The 9 of Pentacles, the nightmare situation. 9 of Swords, and then 9 of Pentacles. I say 9 of Pentacles and I didn't even see it. 9 of Swords, nightmare situation, 9 of Pentacles. And then we've got the 8 of Swords and the Fool off the cliff, and the Devil. The Fool and the Devil. He's trying to do what he is being dictated to do, knowing that what he's being dictated to do is highly illegal, and it could be his complete undoing, because he knows that if all this gets out there, they're all done. Ten of Swords, they're done. Stick a fork in it. Okay, so they're going to, what I'm getting from that is they're going to release a little bit and hope that that shuts people up, but it won't. It won't. Okay, I want to have a look at Roberts now. Might change deck. Now, where did I see this? The Chief Justice and his wife. It's on newsbreak.com. I'm going to change to the Golden Universal Tarot because it's a money question. Right, so pretty much there has been a filing for Justice Roberts, John Roberts, to be disbarred, which means he would lose his position on the Supreme Court because, let me put it this way, over 16 years of federal financial disclosure forms, Chief Justice John Roberts mischaracterised more than $20 million in household income from law firms appearing before the Supreme Court. He concealed his wife's equity stake in her employer for 3 consecutive years. He failed to recuse himself from more than 500 cases argued before the Supreme Court by law firms that had paid his wife millions in commissions. Oh my effing G. He absolutely, so stretching across nearly 2 decades connected by a single through line, the belief that the rules apply to every other federal judge but himself. So $20 million was paid to his wife in commissions by law firms who were arguing cases before him. It is so wrong. The governing standard 28 USC squiggle 455 applies to every federal judge, including the Supreme Court. 3 of its subsections matter here, and the judge only needs to trigger one of them for the recusal obligation. Roberts triggered all 3. So, pretty much subsection A, the judge shall disqualify himself from any proceedings in which his impartiality might be reasonably questioned. Well, you know, one would think if your wife was getting money from the law firm that was arguing the case in front of him, that might be a reason. Subsection B.4 says the judge shall disqualify himself where he or his spouse or a minor child residing in the household has a financial interest in the subject or in a party to the proceedings. Okay, tick on that one. And subsection B.3 adds that a judge shall disqualify where a spouse is known by the judge to have an interest that could be substantially affected by the outcome of the proceedings. Oh boy, oh boy. Now, one of my viewers pointed out to me, sent me this, and pointed out to me that when I had read on Roberts forever ago, that I got that it would be his wife that would be his undoing. So, in the hot seat here, and we've got the steal card as well, the lies and the stealing. Okay, let's see where we go with this. Justice Roberts, how's this go? So this is an actual case that's being brought against him to disbar him. How is this going to go? How is this going to go? There's a lot to look at. I was thinking of looking at the Bulgarian elections, but they're done and dusted, and I'm just going to say they were finagled significantly because, yeah, they were gifted. I kept picking up that there would be a I was thinking it was going to be Turkey with Orban. Turkey, Hungary, no, Hungary. Sorry, my apologies. Apologies to Turkey. Sorry about that. The Hungarian, is it? Yeah, the Hungarian elections with Orban. Um, no, I think what's happened is that they realised very quickly on, because this flew out while I was shuffling about that. Um, uh, I was getting that the Orban elections would be finagled by the Ruskies to put Orban back in, but I think what happened is they realised sort of last 5 minutes that Orban was not going to get back in, that the people were rising up and would not have it, so they switched their attention to the Bulgarian elections. Sorry, I'm a bit off target here. On a side venture. Join me on my side venture adventure. So yeah, it was gifted. I think it's going to be revealed that there was overseas interference. So we've got the Sun card, the Two of Wands, to put in pretty much an emperor, a dictator. We have this female bringing forward this message. She's also about, if I say prostitution, I do apologise. That just means, perhaps paid for her services. That will change everything and bring about some legal restriction, perhaps, as the moon comes. And we then have the King of Swords, and then we have the Star, the best of democracy. I don't think, and then we've got the Strength card, we've got this infighting potentially happening and attempting to defend themselves. Oh gosh, and there's Fleon flipping votes. This is one of my Fleon cards because he is a water sign. But we've got here the votes flipping, may even be the supposed Bulgarian leader as a water sign, because there's a lot of water signs in these positions. My vote flipping card and secrets being revealed, a lot happening really quickly and being forced to walk away. I think that Bulgarian election was finagled. I don't believe the party that got in actually got the votes. I'm feeling the people of Bulgaria are just a bit stunned at the moment. So there will be action on that, and it will be revealed. But let's have a look at Roberts. Roberts. He is violated just about, even worse than Thomas. If you could think this is on a legal aspect, not so much just the corruption, bribery, that Thomas is on. This has legal footing. So tell me, how's this going to play out for Roberts? I keep getting the whole Supreme Court being dismissed and starting again, which so much of the US systems need. But not replaced by Republicans. Don't get me wrong there. When I'm talking about this, I'm not getting offer being made. What have we got? King of Cups. Gosh, there's those two cards again. Offer being made, King of Cups, and the vote flipping. Trying to hang on to the position, but it's the ending for him. Don't be alarmed. The Supreme Court's not going to be replaced by the current regime, but I do see them all being dismissed, and including the three progressive women. I do, which is quite sad, but it's almost like they've all got to reapply for their jobs, and then they will actually be put into place due to merit and ability and skill and knowledge, not who they happen to pay off or suck up to. Okay, let's have a look. Roberts, how's this lawsuit, this corruption lawsuit going to go, this debarring? Is Roberts going to find himself debarred? Which means he loses his law license, which means he's off. Right, the Star could be the narcissist, could also be the best of the system. You've got here the Three of Cups, circles of support, or challenged by three women coming together, the three progressive women perhaps, supporting this. Oh, it's the end for him, the Death card. The end, he's being investigated. Yeah, he's as guilty as investigated. Here's the legal action with the Queen of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, pay for play. It's the mercenary. King of Pentacles, there's the orange twerp. It's just caving down around him. Don't worry, he's not going to be able to appoint a new one. Yeah, because the orange twerp is inability to harvest, inability to appoint a new one. The dying on the vine, pretty much, may also mean that the immunity that was granted gets overturned. I've always seen that being overturned. Regret, yes, so there blimmin' well should be in the hopes and fears. Two of Pentacles, juggling the situation, the manipulation, money, manipulation, Supreme Court, and pack up your bags and go with that Six of Swords. A ruling is made and he finds himself fully exposed and off the cliff. You've got the Devil there, and there's that King of Cups. He's card of the day just about, King of Cups. The Devil, the King of Cups, looking closely at the docket and a new beginning and bringing down of the Supreme Court, or something to do with a ruling by the Supreme Court. And then you've got the Ace of Wands, unexpected out of left field, overreach, infighting. Something that was before the courts being rejected and a new ruling. Okay, I do wonder if this is part of, because I suspect Roberts, I don't know how close that immunity ruling was, but if Roberts is found to have been severely compromised in regards to that, then, 500 odd cases, all of which will probably have to be revisited. Is the presidential immunity ruling involved in this? I don't know how close, I can't remember how close Roe versus Wade. I think that was 6-3, so it wasn't close. It was along those political lines for a panel that's secrets being revealed, lunacy. It's going to be a long path of revelations, but is the immunity ruling going to get overturned? That's a yes. Seeing things differently. Treason, betrayal in the past. Roberts, I'd say that's Roberts. Smoke and poor choices. I'm just going to say poor choices. Money changing hands. Or just things being overturned with that Six of Pentacles. Four of Swords. Externally. Legally on the down. Three of Swords, Four of Swords. These are not good cards for this. Internally, the Two of Wands. This might be the power of the women. Yeah, tossed out. Five of Pentacles, tossed out. Strength to women. Women celebrating. This could also be Roe versus Wade. And then you've got the Knight of Pentacles, the mercenary, exposed with the collective awakening, the ending. Then you've got the Eight of Pentacles, and you've got the the head being stopped, the grifting, and then the tower. New beginnings, fully exposed, whistleblower, working together across the aisle to try and hold on to what is really important, defending the Constitution, and then the Ace of Cups. A new partnership, new beginning. Okay, if it's, there will be rulings. It might even be Roe versus Wade with that women's celebrating being, the ruling on that being overturned. That was an important lesson for me way back in my early years. I did a reading on Roe versus Wade, and it was the worst cards ever. And I was trying to spin it, and that was an important lesson to me to say, surely they couldn't get rid of it. That was an important lesson for me because then I learned to actually just trust the cards. Don't try and make them say what I want them to say, because that's not how this works. Just tell me, what's the future of the Supreme Court itself? What's the future of the Supreme Court itself? The Supreme Court itself. Ace of Swords, female justices, loss, regret, 3 perhaps having to step aside, having another look at the rulings or the rulings that they made. Roberts leaving. I've always seen Roberts leaving. The false victory. Russian influence being exposed, perhaps. Oh, gosh, the moon card. And there's justice from the past being justice in the past being held hostage. No longer. Everything's going to be changing. This mercenary actions is at an end. And women will be celebrating the world over. Yeah, it's on so many levels. Things are heralding the ending of these individuals. Secrets being revealed about a steal with the help of the Ruskies, the false victory, Roberts getting out of there, revisiting court cases. It's just the truth cutting through. So ready for it. Bring it on. Okay, now I gather Lena said on her show yesterday that I'm going to be a guest on her show. Lena, give me a call. It's all right, I've emailed her and said, okay, when? So obviously she's had a thought but forgot to let me know. So I'll let you know when it is. Oh gosh, there's a lot happening at the moment. Okay, elbows up. Enjoy. Look at the stars. Deep breath. Things are nearing an end. Sadly, it is when they may become most dangerous. So just look after your little part of the world. Love to you all. Take care.